Welcome to Maker's Perspective. For this part of the series, we're going to look at shears, specifically the trim shear. But to give you an idea of what I used, those were my cutting edge small bubble shears, my diamond shears, and here I have my Jim Moore shear. Look at the pivot point in relationship to the blades. And here are the cutting edge shears. You can see how wide the blade opens and how little the blades are open on the Jim Moore, versus how deep I would have to use or go for the same amount on the cutting edge. The geometry or placement of the pivot point is the key area of success, and why the Jim Moore shears, or shears that follow that model, are ideal for trimming small vessels. First up is a small cylinder. Just a standard trim coming in with the shears at the 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock position, then slowly feeding them and stopping around the 6 o'clock position where I finish the trim. It's important to kick out your elbow as well, not past that 6 o'clock position. Now we have a tall cylinder. Tweezing out that excess. I pick up the wrong shears, but you can see where the geometry comes in handy. Now see how much easier it is to get the Jim Moore shears in there. Again, starting at that 3 o'clock position and then stopping around the 6 o'clock. Now a wide cylinder. Same thing, kind of starting in maybe at the 3, 4 o'clock position, and then just stopping at the 6 and feeding the glass into the shears. Here we have the silver twist cup. Anything with a twist is better to trim with shears. Tweezing it out, grabbing the shears, coming in at that 3 to 5 o'clock position, finding the 6 o'clock position, and then just staying put and feeding the shears like one would a hungry alligator. A little neck bottle. I sit down at the bench. I pull out the top with the tweezers. It's quite narrow, and I use the shears because I'm going to have a fluted opening at the end. So I go through that narrow part. Once I get to the area I want, I stay there in that position, don't go past the 6 o'clock, and again, just feed them by turning the pipe and glass right into the shears. There you can see how I fluted it in the end. Lastly, we have a cone, which I'll trim differently. I trim it differently because it's going to have a very narrow opening. I take my jacks, make a little flange, JW will meet me with a paddle, and that'll be like an anchor. Now I go back in to heat. I can pull on that flange and get the taper and transition that I desire. When I heat, I feather the heat. So I start heating that top area and then gradually go in a little deeper. There you can see I kind of go in. Now I'm kind of going back in or feathering it. That will help me execute the shape. Now at the bench, I take my jacks, go on the inside, and then on the outside and pull against JW's paddle and the flange. You can see how the nice taper is. Then I go jack down about a 1/4 to 1/2 inch. Go in with the blades on the inside to chill the inside, and then grab my diamond shears, crimp all the way around, and a gentle tap. We can see how the feathering and trimming with the jacks helped execute that shape. You can see the different approaches I use between small opening and large opening vessels. Thanks for watching Maker's Perspective. Cheers.